My dear students, very good morning to all. I am O.S. Chandrasekharaya, Associate Professor of Physics, Government First Grade College, Tumkur. So, in this session, I am going to discuss elasticity chapter. So, in this chapter, we have to discuss certain concepts, namely, first of all, we should understand the meaning of elasticity. So, elasticity, it is the property of a body by virtue of which it regains its original shape and size or dimension as soon as you withdraw the external force which we have applied on the body. So, this property or this phenomenon is what is known as elasticity. So, solids are classified into three categories. We are all familiar with this. So, solids are classified into three, namely elastic body, plastic body, and and rigid bodies. So, a body can be deformed by the suitable application of external force on it. So, then the body is said to be perfectly elastic if it regains its original shape or size when applied forces are removed. So, this property of a body to regain its original state or condition, or in other words, original dimension on the removal of the applied forces is called elasticity. So, then a body which does not regain its original shape or size even when the applied forces are removed, so then the body is said to be a plastic body. In nature, no body is either perfectly elastic or perfectly plastic. For example, quartz fiber is considered to be the close to a perfectly elastic body. And rigid body is one. A rigid body is one which does not regain its original status after the withdrawal of the elastic force is called rigid bodies. So, plastic body means when you apply the external force over the plastic body, so the body gets deformed due to the application of the external force. But as soon as you remove the external force or withdraw the external force, the body will not regain its original status or original dimension. So then such a body is called, so that means it will be in the altered state. So such bodies are called plastic bodies. So with this introduction, so I will move on to the actual concepts of elasticity. So your elasticity starts with the concept of stress and strain. So let us understand the meaning of stress. So when external force is applied on a body, there will be relative displacement of the particles. Due to the property of elasticity, the particles tend to regain their original positions. So then the stress is defined as the restoring force per unit area. If a force F is applied normally to the cross-sectional area A of a wire or some body, so then stress is given by it is equal to the ratio of force per area. So mathematically we can represent the stress as F by A. The unit of stress is Newton per meter square. So then I will move on to the next concept as strain. So strain means when a deforming force is applied over a body, so there is a change in dimension. Change in dimension may be sometimes length, sometimes thickness, and sometimes shape or volume of the body. So the ratio of change in dimension to its original dimension or to its original value is called strain. So how can we define a strain? It is defined as the ratio of change in dimension to its original dimension. For example, if the change occurs in terms of length, so then we used to represent the strain as change in length to its original length is defined as linear strain. So then I will explain the different types of strain. So longitudinal strain. So different types of strains are, one is longitudinal strain, shearing strain and volume strain. So now I will going to explain the different types of strains one by one. So if the stretching force F is applied to a wire of length L and area of cross section as A such that the length increases by an amount dl. dl is a very small quantity. So then the internal or the longitudinal strain, it is defined as the ratio of change in length to its original length. So change in length is represented, it is a small value, it is represented as dl, and original length is represented with the capital letter L. So mathematically we can represent the longitudinal strain as dl by L. So this is how we can define the longitudinal strain. I hope that you have understood the meaning of longitudinal strain. So then I will move on to the second type of strain, that is shearing strain. So when equal and opposite forces act tangentially along two opposite faces of a cube, a change in shape is produced. So this change in shape, it is nothing but the shearing angle. So the shearing angle itself gives you the value of shearing strain. So in order to define the shearing strain, we have to consider the diagram of a cube. So by considering the diagram of a cube, on the upper surface if you apply the tangential force, so the layers which are present inside the cube, they get slides one over the other by making an angle phi, that is nothing but angle of shear. So this angle of shear directly measures the shearing angle. So then the third type of strain is volume strain. So it is defined as the ratio of change in volume to its original volume is called volume strain. It is also called bulk strain. Volume strain and bulk strain both are same, and mathematically we can represent the volume strain as dV by V, which represents, so dV is nothing but the change in volume and V is the original volume of the body which we have considered in order to explain the volume strain. So this is how we can define the three types of strains, namely longitudinal strain, shearing strain and volume strain. So what is the unit of strain? So strain has no unit. It is a unitless quantity. So then I will move on to the next concept. So with the help of stress and strain, after understanding the meaning of stress and strain, so we will, I am going to discuss with the help of these two concepts, stress and strain, I will going to explain the Hooke's law. So you are all familiar with, this is one of the important concept in elasticity, that is Hooke's law. So the entire elasticity chapter depends on the concepts of stress and strain. So Hooke's, by using these two concepts, stress and strain, he stated the Hooke's law as follows. So it is defined as the ratio it is defined, it states that within the elastic limit, stress is directly proportional to the strain. So, Hooke's law states that within the elastic limit, it states that within the elastic limit, stress is directly proportional to the strain. That is, the ratio stress to the strain is always a constant. So, this constant is called modulus of elasticity of the material of the body. So, how can we state this? Stress. Hooke's law states that in the year 1913, his name is by name Robert Hooke. He, with the help of the concept of stress and strain, he stated the law in this way: within the elastic limit, the stress is directly proportional to the strain. So, if we remove the proportionality sign by introducing the proportionality constant, yes, let us say E, capital letter E. So, E is equal to stress by strain. It is always a constant. So, the ratio of this constant is called as modulus of elasticity. So, this is how we can state the Hooke's law. This is how we can state the Hooke's law. So, now we can explain the Hooke's law by considering the stress strain diagram. So after understanding the meaning of different types of stress and strain, so we have defined the Hooke's law. It states that Hooke's law states that within the elastic limit, the stress is directly proportional to the strain. This is what we have understood just now. So, thank you, my dear students. I hope that you have all understood these concepts which I have discussed.